Right, Brett, just finished off here in the 𝗀𝗍cie Trophy. Left it late, bit of everything ready today, but we are in the hat.
Yeah, I'll just be really honest, and I've just said the same to them. I'm bitterly disappointed with us tonight, if I'm being honest with you, Joe. The senior boys, I'm annoyed at. And we've got away with absolute murder because we've been really poor. With no excuses, we were really strong tonight. Not for our choice, I've got to be honest with you. One thing I will say about the whole situation is we've got a very small squad, and our load of games is extreme. And you're almost punished for doing well. We're still in the 𝗀𝗍𝗶𝗶, we're obviously in the league still, and we're still in this, and the games are coming thick and fast. And for our squad to go Saturday, Monday, it is difficult. We're an older squad as well. You know, the likes of 𝗀cie and 𝗀𝗱𝗄 and 𝗀𝗍ie. Georgie's got a knock. Muldoon's injured. Wrighty's nursing an injury, so we're managing him. 𝗀cie played and obviously had to come off. 𝗀𝗚lie played and had to come off. Like we are up against it, but I'm half doing them a favour by giving them an excuse, because tonight, take the first 15 minutes away where I actually thought we were really good. We've tossed it off. That's what we've done. And we had a similar situation a couple of months back with St Albans in the trophy, and it can't happen because the young boys who have stepped up from the 23/18s, they couldn't do any more, and they need more help. On a night like tonight, it should be much more simple for them. And I'm so pleased it's one of them who scored the equaliser in the 94th minute to bail us out. Really, believe it or not, I am really happy that we've gone through. But the manner of the win, well, that's great to score 2 last-minute goals, and in normal circumstances, you'd be really happy. But our standards have got to go through the roof, because tonight was diabolical.
You can see Witham are up there in the league, but as you say, last couple of minutes, I think 6 added on, we score in the, I think it was like the 100th minute nearly. But our youngsters do that, 2 youngsters as well. Robbo stepping up to take a penalty, and a nice League Cup game, but it's a big moment for him. Yeah,
look, I can't take nothing away from the youngsters. Like 𝗀cie getting an equaliser is really big. I thought Harry worked his nuts off. Louis obviously been in and around the first team a lot over the last month. I think he had his best game. I thought he was better today than what he was last week. Regarding Witham, like, they haven't gone full strength tonight, by the way. Yeah. Like, let's not have it right. They've left out some big players. And we've struggled. We knew it would be a hard game. They're a physical side, they're a hard working side. The manager's someone that I know well. They're always very competitive. There's a team that I know very well from like past being at their level. There was no underestimation from my behalf whatsoever. But there certainly was from the team, because we knew what kind of game it was, and it was exactly that. And we've let them in it. We've let them in the game, and they took full advantage of it. They'll be very disappointed that they haven't won it, especially after scoring for 2-1 in the last minute.
Yeah.
Of course, we've shown good character to then score 2 late goals, but it's the least happy I've ever been about winning a game of football in 10 years of managing a football team. I'm so disappointed, but we're through. And I always prioritise results over performances. You know that. Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
But tonight, I have to say, I'm disappointed. If we're like that on Saturday, Wingate will give us an hiding. So, yeah.
You mentioned the squads, the depth, stuff like that, and you did mention about 𝗀𝗍𝗶𝗶, but 𝗀𝗍𝗶 and 𝗀𝗚lie coming off in the first half. Anything on that?
Yeah, look, I think it's mainly precaution. 𝗀𝗍𝗶's had a dead leg since last Monday.
Yeah.
And it's obviously a bad one, because it took him a week. On Saturday he come on, but he wasn't right. And he said it was better today, but he felt that he was struggling with sprinting and things like that. And with no disrespect to the opposition, and no disrespect to the competition, tonight's the night that you don't take risks.
Yeah.
And the same with 𝗀𝗚lie. Hopefully, 𝗀𝗚lie come over and just said, look, he's a little bit tight. And I know it was early on, but 𝗀𝗚lie's a massive player for us. So we wouldn't be able to take the risk on that. So we took him off, but fingers crossed they both should be okay for Saturday.
I see your social posts after the weekend. I thought you got spot on. Started slow, but grew in it at 𝗀𝗍𝗶𝗶.
Yeah, I mean, first 15 minutes again, I hate to say it because it shouldn't be happening, but I feel like there's an underestimation from our mob. We are in a great moment, and we're in very, very good form. And that's 10 undefeated now. I haven't lost for a couple of months. And we're obviously in a good position in the league. We've scored loads of goals. We've kept loads of clean sheets as well. But 𝗀cie𝗰𝗶𝗹 is such a hard place to go, and they've always upset big teams. And our whole build-up all week was on that we couldn't underestimate someone like that. And I felt for the first 15 minutes they caught us cold, and they come out the blocks really, really well. And I thought they played very, very well. You know, we watched them on Tuesday. We had them watched on Tuesday, and we done our due diligence. We knew what we were expecting. And I thought they had a really good game plan. So I have to give them a lot of credit as well. But after 20, 25 minutes, half hour, I thought we took full control.
Yeah.
Was a draw a fair result? Probably. But game's about chances, and we missed some big ones. You know, Ollie Peters will never miss a header like that, and Chris Harris will never miss a header like that. Toby went through on goal with obviously the one-on-one. He's probably the last person you want through, but he actually done everything right, and he's done a miraculous clearance off the line.
Was he, by the way?
Yeah, he's devastated. But I think Saturday is a good point. I think that any away point in this league is a good point and shouldn't be overlooked. And it kept our momentum going. I was reasonably happy with Saturday. Of course, it was a game that we wanted to win, and it was a game that I think we should have won based on chances. But I think 𝗀cie𝗰𝗶𝗹 are a good side, and I thought they were valued their point as well. So overall, pretty satisfied. And then obviously with tonight, if we end up winning the competition, it could be a big night. But
yeah,
right now, it's a bit disappointing.
Saturday was very, very stop-start. I think part of the game plan was just like down for them. How do you and a team deal with that? Because there wasn't a lot of football played, especially in the first half.
Yeah, I think the first half we worked it out that the game with basically the ball was in play for about 25 minutes,
yeah,
which is crazy. You know, they went 1-0 up, and then they had a couple of injuries. They had to make a couple of subs, to be fair to them, but it was very, very slow. And I don't know if they've done that on purpose, but if we're going to be a side that are going to be up there, which we hope we are, we need to expect that. We need to, you know, I'll take that as a compliment if teams are trying to wind down the clock after 15, 20 minutes. You know, we're no angels. We know what we're doing when we're leading games of football.
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem with that. No problem at all. I felt that we got confused and caught in a moment for too long in that first half. And then when we scored, the game completely changed. And goals do change games. So I think there can be lessons learned. I think people got to realise, and I hate to keep saying it, we are a very new side.
Yeah.
We've been together a few months now. We've started to settle down, but we're still growing. I still think the best is to come from this group, and we are light, very light. We've got a very small squad, and we've had a load of games, so it will catch up with us. And I thought we caught up with us tonight. It caught up with us for an extent on Saturday, but then the togetherness and unity, I think, got us through, as it has done previously, and it will continue to do that. We've got a little break now, if you like, 5 days off, which seems like a lifetime considering what we've been through. But it's the same for everyone. It's no excuse, but yeah, loads of lessons learnt tonight, loads of lessons learnt Saturday, and we've got a big game on Saturday against Wingate.
Yeah, massively in form. But if you look at the next two games, obviously 𝗙𝗍𝗹𝗶 is off now, but if you look at the next two games, Wingate in form, Brentwood, we know what their form is, but they're still up there. So two massive tough games.
Yeah, look, it's probably a pivotal part in the season so far. We're still very early on, we're not even at the halfway point, but Wingate, for me, have always been a really good side. Well, for the last few years, have been a really dangerous side, and they're in a really good moment, similar to ours. Probably a little bit better than ours now after our draw. I think they've gone above us in the form guide. They're young, and they're dangerous, and they're fearless, and they'll come up here on Saturday and they'll be very, very confident. But we're also in a really, really good moment, and we're going to go head on with them on Saturday. So I think it'll be a great game for the neutral. And yeah, we have no fear. They have no fear. They're in good form. We're in good form, and we think if I say this quite a lot, I think if we're at our maximum and they're at their maximum, we have a great chance of winning the game of football, and hopefully we are.
Perfect, right?
Cheers, Joe. Top man, mate.